Imagine choosing that gay little elf Tom Cruise and his weird faggoty religion over Nicole fucking Kidman. Ew. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heather Shaw is Kidding. It's me, Heather Shaw. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good week. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Thank you if you rate and review. I've been reading those reviews. Love them so much. Love all the queefs. Let's confuse everybody. That's what we're here to do. Gatekeep the podcast and confuse the queefs. Join the Patreon if you want an extra bonus episode of this podcast every single week. Last week I talked about going to a soccer game here in Louisville, Kentucky. I talked about Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. Not going to talk about it on this episode. If you want my thoughts, join the Patreon. I also made a video online that you can find it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Get tickets to my shows. Very fun shows. I got a lot coming up. Tomorrow night I'm in Eugene, Oregon. Few tickets left for that show at the Olson Run Comedy Club. And Friday and Saturday I'm in Seattle, Washington at the Hereafter. 4 shows, 2 shows a night, Friday and Saturday. Sunday night I'm in Tacoma, Washington. We sold out the room. We're going to a bigger room. So tickets are on sale for Tacoma. They were sold out and now there's more tickets available. So get those if you thought you missed out. Later on in the month, I'm in Boca Raton at the Boca Black Box, baby. Huh? Sounds weird. It's not. Boca Black Box. I love a good black box room. Tickets at heathershawcomedy.com. Speaking of comedy, the Riyadh Comedy Festival is in full swing. If you are not aware of what this is, where have you been? If you're listening to this podcast, you should know what's going on. The Riyadh Comedy Festival has been getting a lot of heat. I have not spoken online. I've not made any videos about this. I mean, as a comic, everything I see is about this fucking Riyadh Comedy Festival. Because I follow a lot of comics online. It's really just my feed is just the NFL and comedy. That's really all I'm getting out there in the algorithm. So no matter what platform I go on, I'm just seeing Tyreek Hill's leg busted, or I'm seeing some comedian's hot take on the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Now, the Riyadh Comedy Festival is a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia. You know Saudi Arabia. Maybe did 9/11. Probably. You know, they killed journalists for saying things. You know, a good regime. They treat women real nicely over there. Just not a great place. When I think of comedy, when I think of ha-has, I don't go right to Saudi Arabia. I'll say that much. It might be a hot take. But if you ask me what's the funniest countries, I'm not going to say Saudi Arabia is one of them. Sorry. I mean, you know, the Riyadh Comedy Festival is basically a giant festival of huge names in comedy. They are throwing money. They threw money at these comics, and you know comics, them and their morals. I think it's very funny that people think that comics have morals. I know some of these comedians, I'm going to go through the list. We're going to roast these comics. You know, I would, as somebody who's been doing stand-up comedy for 10 years, I started in open mics, worked my way up to local showcases, worked my way into the Austin comedy scene. Now I'm working on the road as a headliner. I've met comics from all walks of life. I've met comics who live out of their cars. I've met comics who have daddy's money. I have met comics who are sober because they had a crippling addiction. I've met comics that are currently in a crippling addiction. I've met really good guys that do comedy that have good morals. I've met really awful men that do comedy. I got to say, most of the women I meet, maybe 0.5% have been awful people. And it's not because they're awful because they're sexually assaulting. They're just awful because, like, they're a little bit pick me, or, like, you know, they'll do anything to get ahead. And that includes, you know, shitting on other women. But that's very few and far between. Most female, I hate that word. Most women comics are a delight. A delight. what my point is here is that you shouldn't really expect comics to have a moral ground. I think when you got bigger, famous comics, you can kind of be like, dude, what the fuck? But I've never thought, you know who has the best morals is my comedian friends. I've never thought, you know who wouldn't do anything for money? My comedian friends. Because, comics are broke unless they're coming from their parents' money. Comics are broke. They have multiple roommates. They have gig jobs. They do Uber Eats during the day, and then they do shows at night. They're used to being broke. They'll do anything for money. I don't look to my comedian friends for moral superiority or really knowledge on anything other than maybe adding a tag to a joke. That being said, if you are a large, famous comic who is rolling in millions of dollars, you have multiple homes, maybe we don't have to do a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia. Maybe sometimes we can just say no to blood money. Let's go through the list. If this was a comedy festival of hungry comics who were struggling to pay the bills, I'd be like, yeah, no shit. Of course they're going to accept $30 to go to Saudi Arabia. This makes sense. These people don't need the money for the most part. Aziz Ansari, he's got Parks and Rec money. I don't know what he's going to do over there. Blend in. I don't know what he's doing. Wayne Brady. Okay, fun. I don't even know. Wayne Brady's clean comedy, so he probably won't get in trouble. Some of these comics, I'm like, what are they joking about? Because the rules were when they sent the offer to comics, you couldn't criticize the government. Usually how it goes when a government has a comedy festival. You can't joke about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. You can't make religious jokes, political jokes off the table. I mean, really all you can do is just, make fun of women probably. They would love that. They'll eat that right up. Make fun of women. Say there needs to be more clitorectomies in this area. Too many clits, what I see. Hannibal Buress. Okay, I could see him needing the money. Bill Burr. Not a fan of that, Billy boy. Bill Burr, the man who shits on billionaires. Maybe now he can't really do that. Maybe it's a little out of touch now to be shitting on, who's the guy that runs Apple? Tim Faggot. What's his name? I don't know. It's hard to make fun of Elon Musk now when you've agreed to be paid $1 million by the Saudi Arabian government to go make them laugh. I don't know. I'm still a fan. Liz, here's the thing. I'm still a fan of these comics, most of them, for their comedy. Again, I'm very separate the art from the artist, so I'm judging them, but what do you want? They're not morally superior. They're comics, okay? They make a living writing jokes. They're professional clowns. We're all professional clowns. You should be worried about your politicians more than these comics accepting gigs over there in Saudi Arabia. Still kind of gross and weird, but Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K., this is where it gets to how much money is enough. Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K. probably got offered somewhere between $1 to $5 million to do this gig. Do they have enough? When is it just greed? I love that Bill Burr's on the same bill as people that he's always talking about the greed of billionaires, the greed. And it's then he's got to hang out with Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K. who are set for life financially. They're good. They could turn this down and not lose a wink of sleep. They don't have to miss a meal. They're good. You know what I mean? At what point, when is the money it's like Taylor Swift. When is it enough? Are you just now a demon for money? Whitney Cummings. Okay. She has a baby. Maybe she has to pay for that thing. Pete Davidson. Interesting. Pete Davidson's dad died in 9/11. You probably never heard of it because he's never talked about it before in his entire life. Just kidding. It's almost all he talks about. Pete Davidson's dad died in 9/11. And so Pete Davidson decided to agree to go perform for the people who maybe killed his dad. That's a good revenge story. I'm sure his dad's proud. Hey, if I got murdered, I'd want Lily to go meet up with my murderer and buy them dinner. But he also has a baby on the way. Those diapers are expensive. Have you seen America? The economy's not great. So, all right. Chris DiStefano. Interesting. I thought he would not say yes to this, to be honest. I really thought he wouldn't. A lot of his buddies, Stavi. If you know comedy, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, good luck. Stavi, Shane Gillis, these comics rejected the offer. They declined to be on the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. Chris did. He said that his wife, they have some bills coming up. Okay. Kevin Hart, another one where it's like, don't you have enough money? Every commercial I see during an NFL game is Kevin Hart hawking some bullshit. Kevin Hart doesn't do movies anymore and he doesn't do stand-up. He's just a commercial actor. That is his entire career now. He went from being like the most successful stand-up for a year, being in movies with The Rock, and now he's just a commercial actor. That's all this guy does is he sells betting apps and phones and maybe some food. Doesn't he have enough money? Imagine how much money he makes from one commercial for whatever, DraftKings, where he's sitting up with LeBron James. Those two guys who need some money. Doesn't he have enough? It gets to a point. If Kevin James was a little bit taller, maybe he would have rejected it. I don't know. It's just very confusing to someone like him. What could he possibly... Does he really need $2 million? He doesn't get that from DraftKings. He doesn't get that from Bud Light or whatever the fuck he's hawking. All he does now is sell you shit. Kevin James is right up there with Flo from Progressive. He's just selling you shit. That's all he does now. He's very funny. I'm sure he contributes to the script on those commercials, but he's literally just a commercial actor now. It's very unsettling. He went from being in every action movie, any action movie they made, it was just, all right, this one is an action movie set in the Amazon jungle, and it stars Kevin Hart and The Rock. Okay, cool, greenlit. Okay, this one is an action movie set in Detroit, Michigan, and it's Kevin Hart and The Rock. Okay, cool. Greenlit. Okay, this one, it's a buddy cop movie, and it's set in Hawaii. And this one stars Kevin Hart and The Rock. Okay, greenlit. I'm kind of honestly glad that Kevin Hart moved away from movies and is really finding his art in commercials. Hawking shit for major corporations. Very inspiring stuff. But doesn't he have enough money? Who else? Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy. I don't really know much about him. I'm sure he's got a big food bill. Jim Jeffries. Yeah, okay, Australian guy. Jessica Kirson. Now, I will stand up for Jessica Kirson. I love her so much. I don't have anything to say. You know what? It's her prerogative. And you know what? She struggled for, she has been doing comedy for decades, and I'm so glad that she's finally hit. I remember watching Jessica Kirson's Comedy Central Half Hour Presents when I was a teenager. So that was 18,000 years ago. And I'm so happy for her success. I have heard that she has one of her kids. She's got, I think, 4 kids. One of her kids has health issues. And Jessica Kirson has been in medical debt for years. And you know what? Get the bag, Jessica. I support Jessica Kirson getting that fucking bag. I don't care. Fuck off if you're mad about that one. Let me get back to ribbing on men. Joe Coy, yep, that dildo. Sebastian Maniscalco, again, you did a movie with Robert De Niro, but you're gonna, okay, you need the money. Sam Morril, sure. Money doesn't hurt. Sam Morril, Mark Norman, they're trying to make a movie. Maybe they need the money. What I'm trying to say here is Andrew Schultz, that makes sense. That guy cosplays as Hitler. So, yeah, that makes sense. Tom Segura, another one where it's like, hey, bud, you're doing enough. You're doing enough. I don't know. Maybe these guys don't know how to say no. The money must be good. The money must be good. And I will tell you, I was thinking, would I be someone who would have probably taken the bag? No. I would have been on the side of a Shane Gillis or a Stavi, not because of my morals, but because I just don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. Can I be so honest? As a gay woman, I'm not going to step foot in that place. It's not worth it to me. And I don't trust my mouth. There's a lot of factors. I know that I've not been offered a spot on the Riyadh Comedy Festival. But I was thinking, would I, you know what? I would honestly do a lot for money. I am not morally superior. I am a comedian. I have been there in the struggle bus. I understand it. There's a lot I would do for money. If Trump was like, come perform, I don't know. What's the money look like? Can I roast you? Probably not. So then I'd have to say no. I just don't trust my mouth. And also there's places I don't want to go. I don't ever want to go to North Korea. I don't ever want to go to Saudi Arabia. I probably would not want to go to Russia. I don't really want to go to Russia. I know you can call me something ist, racist. What's that other ist? There's got to be another ist where you're like, you can call me it. I don't care. Sorry, I don't want to be in North Korea. South Korea, sure. I'm not going to North. I'm good. I don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. What, am I a bad person? Fuck off. Yeah, it's just too high stakes. I don't trust it. I don't think that anything would happen to, these are big name comics, but it's just like Jessica Kirson, brave. A lesbian Jewish woman in Saudi Arabia. Brave. We should be giving her the Purple Heart, honestly. And beyond that, who's doing good? I want to know who's bombing in Saudi Arabia. Who's not connecting with the audience there? Because, some of these comics love to do crowd work. Now you got to crowd work with Saudis, rich Saudi men. Hey, when you torture your women, what do you like to do? What do you start with? A bowling pin up her asshole? Hell yeah, brother. I don't. Now, as noted, Shane Gillis did refuse. Atsuko Akatsu, let me say this right. Atsuko Akasuka. I hope I'm saying that right. She's a comic. She also refused. She also posted the offers, which is why I know what their rules were in the offer. Stavi. Nimesh Patel. He agreed to it and then he pulled out at the last minute. Probably just didn't want to deal with that blowback. I think Nimesh Patel, I've worked with him. He takes comedy seriously. I think he probably knew that it wasn't the best look. I don't think he wants to be on the wrong side of things. And he made a TikTok saying that, in order to make up for this missing bag from the festival, he'll have to do about 40 shows. Hey, great. 40 shows in America, probably not. It could be as dangerous as performing in Saudi Arabia at this point. I don't really know, but that's cool. He dropped out. And then Tim Dillon, one of my favorite comics. Tim Dillon was slated to perform, but he was removed from the festival because he made jokes on his podcast about how there's slavery in Saudi Arabia. So shout out to Tim Dillon. I think he was probably trying to get fired, as he usually does. And I support that. That's great. David Cross released a statement regarding this festival, how disappointed he was. He's speaking to these large comics in a matter of which these people and a lot of these comics are, the Andrew Schultz and the Louis C.K. and the maybe Whitney Cummings, I'm not sure, but a lot of these comics are very like, oh, you can't say anything now, or you can't, don't censor comedy, and then they go over to a country that kills their journalists for writing articles, which is extreme censorship. Cross wrote, I am disgusted and deeply disappointed. People I admire with unarguable talent would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for what? A fourth house, a boat, more sneakers? We can never again take seriously anything these comedians complain about. That's it. You have a funny bit about how you'd like Yankee candles or airport lounges. Great. But you're cool with murder and or the public caning of women who were raped and by having the audacity to be raped were guilty of engaging in adultery. Got any bits on that? These are some of my heroes, he continues. Now, look, some of you folks don't stand for anything, so you don't have any credibility to lose. But my God, Dave and Louie and Bill and Jim, clearly you guys don't give a shit about what the rest of us think. But how can any of us take you seriously ever again? All your bitching about cancel culture and freedom of speech and all that shit, it's done. You don't get to talk about it ever again. By now, we've all seen the contract you had to sign. You're performing for literally the most oppressive regime on earth. That is truly the definition of blood money. Your hypocrisy will never not be noted. Yeah, I still stand on the side of like comics don't really have a lot of integrity. Okay, we all come from like, working up on open mics, and we're kind of surrounded by people who actively participate in sexual assault or addiction, which is not, that's more, you can have sympathy for people who are addicts, of course, but it's not surprising to me. I'll say that. You dangle millions of dollars in front of Chappelle. It's not surprising. But to me, it's like, how much money is enough? When do you say no? When is it like, hey, Dave Chappelle, can we buy your daughter? It's 20 million we're offering. And he goes, yeah, all right. Yeah. Just don't tell anybody. Mark Maron was criticizing the festival as well. He said, how do you even promote a festival like that? From the folks that brought you 9/11, 2 weeks of laughter in the desert. Don't miss it. I mean, some guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bone saw journalist Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Yeah, we'll see if there's any stories about this. Andrew Santino, Bobby Lee, they'll probably talk about it on their podcast. Mark Norman, Sam Morrill, they'll probably talk about it on their podcast. Whitney Cummings, maybe, and then some others probably won't mention it again. They got the bag, they move on. I understand money talks, and I'm starting to get to that age where when people say money can't buy you happiness, it's poor people that say that. It's really just poor people. Money can buy you happiness. Maybe not happiness. Money can buy you stability, which then creates happiness. So I think that money can't buy you happiness, but money can buy you stability. And I think that we all want to be stable. So would you do it? Would you go to Saudi Arabia and work for an hour for $1 million? Most of you will say no, but really think about it. Would you? I would almost do anything for $1 million. I don't think I'd go to Saudi just because I'm a gay woman. I'm good. I would get myself in trouble. But the festival runs through October 9th. So if you're in Saudi Arabia, check out the Riyadh Comedy Festival, baby. Okay, Nicole Kidman is getting divorced. This is so 90s of us to be talking about an A-list celebrity getting divorced. I'm like, oh my God, I feel so 90s. Remember when we cared about this? It's just so like nostalgic. Oh my God. We're talking about Nicole Kidman's love life. What in the 1998? Yeah, she's done with Keith Urban. There's only room for one hair straightener in this relationship. They had a good run. I mean, it's like dog years for celebrities. 1 year is like 7 in marriages. How long were they married? They married in 2006. What's that math? How many years? 14? 16? 18? Hold on. 2006, 16, 26 over 20, 19 years. Yeesh. 19 years of marriage. Or you know what? Yeah, they married in 2006. 19 years. That's amazing. What went down? What happened? Nicole Kidman filed. She filed for divorce. They apparently separated in June. And she wanted to save the marriage, although by all accounts, Keith did not. Let me guess. Oh, yeah. As we also reported, Keith and Nicole's inner circle believe he has moved on with another woman. Let me guess. She's of sound age. Her age doesn't begin with a 20. I will be shocked if Keith Urban dumped Nicole Kidman for a fresh 20-something woman. Wow, I'll be so shocked because men never do that. That's crazy. You could have Nicole Kidman as your wife for almost 20 years and a 23-year-old with a tight ass and two brain cells are going to walk by and you're going to throw it out. 20 years is a long time to be married, but it's Nicole Kidman, man. She's fucking cool. She's got that accent. So do you, Keith. What's going on? Keith and Nicole? They share 2 kids, ages 17 and 14. Doesn't she have, by the way, what happened to Nicole and Tom's kids? Is she still in? Okay, let's look that up. Where are Nicole and Tom's? Weren't they adopted? They were adopted. Did she just send them back? Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise's children, Isabella and Connor, live separately but have remained with their father, Tom Cruise, and are dedicated Scientologists. Oh my God. No. He got him, ladies and gentlemen. He got him. Isabella and Connor have remained out of the public spotlight and chose to stay with Tom Cruise, remaining dedicated to Scientology. Nicole Kidman has spoken about her love for her adopted children, acknowledging they are adults who have made their own choices. She has expressed that while she would love for them to live closer, she offers them unconditional love. Apparently, they're estranged. Imagine choosing that gay little elf Tom Cruise and his weird faggoty religion over Nicole fucking Kidman. Ew. Nicole's probably like, well, you think Nicole's just like, well, whatever, it's not my kids. I mean, they're adopted, but like, whatever. Have fun. That's 2 less children I need to worry about that I shared with a weird man. Okay, Isabella Kidman Cruise lives in London and works as an artist and hair and makeup artist. Okay, she's a rich kid. She's a dedicated Scientologist and has expressed gratitude to him in his Scientology publication. Connor Cruise lives in Florida. Boop, boop, boo. Is involved in deep sea fishing. You can take the kid out of the orphanage. You can't take the orphanage out of the kid. You know what I'm saying? He owns a barbecue business called Connor's Meat Shack. I'm speechless. I feel like I'm reading a completed Mad Lib. What? These are their kids? Connor is a Scientologist and lives in Clearwater, which is like the mecca of Scientology, by the way. It's the location of the headquarters. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder what they look like. Go give them a Google. I don't think you're going to see. Oh. Well, these are old pictures. Very interesting. Connor's Meat Shack. That's really upsetting. And do you really think Tom's even close to them? No. One lives in London, one lives in Florida. They might as well be orphans. Holy shit. Anyways, Nicole Kidman's got 2 biological kids that are fucking cool as shit, I bet. You know, what? That's kind of nice to have kids that you raise that become Scientologists and you're just like, okay, well, it's okay. Do you want to go no contact with me? Because I'd love that. Do you want to go no contact with me? Because I'd love that. I can't really do an Australian accent. We come to the movies. I'm Nicole Kidman. I can't really do an Australian accent. The only one I can do is my name because I've been interviewed by Australian. I was interviewed on Today Show Australia, and I just remember them being like, "Hi, Heather. Hi, Heather. Heather Shaw. Hi, Heather." That's the only way I can do an Australian accent, and it's on steroids. Interesting. Well, Keith probably found a young woman. I hope Nicole Kidman gets with a younger guy. I'd love to see like Nicole Kidman banging Jacob Elordi. Fuck finding someone to live the rest of your days with, bitch. Okay? You need to bang young and have fun. Kidman needs to bang young and have fun. That's the name of this episode. Bang young and have fun. Now you'll know what that means. Wow. All right, let's get into our sponsor of the show. You know him, you love him. It's Lucy Brown Coffee, baby. I love Lucy Brown Coffee, and you will too. They're the best coffee shop I've ever been in. They have the best coffee subscription. You know them. If you listen to this podcast, you know about them. They're located in Lexington, Kentucky. Lucy Brown Coffee Bar, baby. Owned by Sarah Brown, the lesbian in charge, LIC. Small owned, gay owned. What else do you want? Subarus galore around that coffee shop. It's like going to a fucking Indigo Girls concert. If you drive a Subaru to Lucy Brown Coffee, you better remember where you parked or you're going to be real confused coming out. You're going to go, which one is mine? Lucy Brown is the best. We love their coffee so much. We love their coffee subscription. Every single month they send me a new bag of coffee sent from a different roaster. I've never gotten the same bag of coffee in the 2 years that I've been doing their coffee subscription program. It's amazing. It's immaculate. It's delicious coffee. I make it for people. They go, this is delicious. I say, I know, it's all me. It's all because of me. I know how to make a good drip coffee. Get their coffee subscription. You will not be disappointed at all. It's very delicious. You can get it ground up already, or you can get whole beans, baby. Whole beans would be my porn name. Whole Beans Shaw. Go to lucybrown.com. That's LUSSI browncoffee.com. lucybrown.com and follow the coffee subscription button to get signed up today. It's so easy. And if you use the promo code Heather Shaw is kidding, you're going to get 10% off your first order. That's a damn good deal. It's a damn good program. I never have to deal with gross, boring-ass coffee again. I get the coffee I like. I like dark roast, whole bean. I like to grind it at home, baby. Grind it out. Rise and grind. And I love this coffee. I mean, I'm telling you, it shows up every single beginning of the month, every single month, without fail. And if you're in Lexington, Kentucky, go check out the coffee shop. Coffee by day, cocktails by night. We love you, Lucy Brown. Thanks for being the OG sponsor of this show. This is a fun little story that's not going to be upsetting at all and kind of the downfall of Hollywood. Meet Tilly Norwood. Tilly. I thought her name was Lily, and I was going to come to her defense because I love the name Lily because that's my fiance's name. But no, it's Tilly. So let's burn this bitch at the stake. Tilly Norwood. Who do you think that is? Have you heard of this Tilly Norwood? Are you about to see a lot of Tilly Norwood in ways you never thought you would? Who is Tilly Norwood? This is how they should be marketing her, by the way. Tilly is an actress. We'll get into it. She's an actress. You haven't heard of Tilly Norwood, the actress? They should be marketing her because they're really trying to make her a thing. You know, some people are industry plants. I think she's an industry plant. I'm going to tell you about her. I think she's an industry plant. But they should be marketing her kind of like they did in, what's that Ayn Rand movie where they're like, who is John Galt? What was that book? I'm dumb. Atlas Shrugged? Right? Is that right? Atlas Shrugged. Like, who is John Galt? But they'll go around and just go, who is Tilly Norwood? And then you go, who is Tilly Norwood? I'll tell you who she is. She's an actress. She's an actress, and she's drawing backlash from people like Emily Blunt, Whoopi Goldberg, and the entire Screen Actors Guild. Why would these other thespians be so upset with Tilly Norwood? She's just a young female actress trying to make it in the entertainment industry. Why is Emily Blunt coming for her? Do you know what Emily Blunt said about Tilly Norwood? Let me tell you what she said. She said, I'm going to find it. Hold on. I got to learn to read, and then I'll find it. Oh, I lost it. Here's what Emily Blunt said. Good Lord, we're screwed. That is really, really scary. Can you believe that? Here's what the Screen Actors Guild had to say about Tilly Norwood. They said in a statement, they said, to be clear, Tilly Norwood is not an actor. That's crazy. They're all coming for Tilly Norwood. That is so crazy. I wish I knew what Whoopi Goldberg said. Let's find what Whoopi said. Oh, well, if I tell you what Whoopi said, I'll be giving away who Tilly Norwood is. Let me tell you who she is, all right? Tilly Norwood, your new favorite actress, is an AI actress. A computer-generated character. A character generated by a computer program. Tilly Norwood, your first A-list AI actress, everybody. Tilly Norwood. Oh, my God. You'll never believe it. Tilly Norwood is an up-and-coming AI star about to take all of the roles. And she won't be the first and she won't be the last. She will be the first actress the first AI actress, but she's not going to be the last. Pretty soon, Hollywood is going to be full of AI actors and actresses. Likenesses, name, image, likeness, stolen. You will no longer need to hire Harrison Ford. Do you miss Robert Redford? Don't worry. We can generate him through a computer. He's still alive. I really like Philip Seymour Hoffman. Can't wait to see him in his new role. No longer do we need human flesh for these movies, these moving pictures and films. We can just hire AI. You know how much they ask to be paid? Nothing. They're computers. Hollywood has had a lot to say after Dutch actor and comedian, again, comedians, we don't have good morals, okay? Dutch actor and comedian Eline van der Velden, that's such a Dutch name, Eline van der Velden, My name is Ellen van der Velden. I think it's Ellen. It's just spelled weird. Ellen van der Velden. I'm Ellen van der Velden. I'm a Dutch actor comedian. Ellen van der Velden. That's very funny. Ellen van der Velden claimed on September 27th that talent agencies are interested in signing her AI-generated actress, Tilly Norwood. So this actor-comedian created an AI actress that now has the eyes and pupils and attention of major talent agencies. Gone are the days of signing Nicole fucking Kidman. She costs too much. Jennifer Aniston, who? Angelina Jolie, get out of here. We can just create your fucking name, image, likeness. We'll pay you $1 million to fuck off forever. Maybe not one, might be more like 100. But $100 million, and these actors are going to give away their name, image, likeness. Do what you want with it as long as it's not creepy porn. Put me in any movie you want. I don't care. Give me $100 million. I'm out this bitch. We are about to lose the art of acting. You're about to see AI movies, TV shows, broadcast, news. I haven't mouth farted in a while. It's getting me going, folks. Buckle up. You're going to be sitting there in 20 years, not even, maybe 5, with a kid from your neighborhood or your niece or nephew or your own child and saying, you know, back in my day, films featured humans. Yeah, no, I swear. Films had these humans, right, would go on set and they'd memorize their lines. And they were great actors. You ever heard of Meryl Streep? You've seen Meryl Streep. No, that's Meryl Streep in the Fast and the Furious 12. She gave her name, image, and likeness so that they could do Fast and the Furious 12 with Meryl Streep. It's not the same Meryl Streep. I saw real Meryl Streep. Anyways, back in my day, we had Meryl Streep. Now you get Tilly Norwood. It is very scary. I can't wait for all the Oscar nominations to just go out to AI. How are they going to accept that? You know, does Alexa just hop up there? Does Jennifer Lawrence show up and say, thank you, I'm accepting this award on behalf of Tilly Norwood. She couldn't be here tonight because she's literally just AI. She's literally inside a computer. She wishes she could be here tonight, but she isn't real. According to Deadline, Ellen van der Velden claimed that her new AI talent studio, Exokia, first of all, you can't even pronounce this talent studio, so dumb. Xikoia, Exokia, I don't know. Her AI talent studio is in negotiations with talent agents interested in signing Norwood. What do you need to sign her to? She's your slave. Does she have a rider for the movie set that she doesn't show up to? What are you signing? Are you just giving Ellen van der Velden all the fucking money she wants? I will give you this one AI for the tune of $3,000 USD. What negotiations are going on? I'm Ellen van der Velden, and I would like to propose this AI actor for the tune of 50,000 pennies. Immediate pushback is happening. That's why you're hearing Emily Blunt go, holy shit, no. Van der Velden said, when we first launched Tilly, people were like, what's that? And now we're going to be announcing which agency is going to be representing her in the next few months. I mean, I hope no major studio signs on an AI actress. I really do. I know that Tilly's got dreams of her own, but, you know, it will be devastating to be like, CAA now represents all AI actors. Tilly has an Instagram account. You can go look at that. She currently has over 36,000 followers. She shared videos like, my first role ever. The completely AI-generated video features Norwood and other synthetic actors promoting supposed positives associated with AI's use in television development, including a promise to monetize the AI actress's interview appearances and an AI-generated man saying, she'll do anything I say. I'm already in love. Jesus fucking Christ. Tilly Norwood is going to be raped. I just know it. Tilly Norwood is going to be fucking raped. They're already making AI-generated men saying, she'll do anything I say. I'm already in love. Burn it down. We had a good civilization. We're at the end of it, guys. We had a good run. The 90s were supreme. I don't want any arguments on that. I don't care how old you were. The 90s were supreme. Everything after 2001, when 9/11 happened, the world crumbled. We're done. We're in the end stages. Blunt goes on to say, does it disappoint me? I don't know how to quite answer it other than to say how terrifying this is. Good thing Blunt's already made all of her money in movies, but it is scary. When she was shown an AI-generated image of Norwood, Blunt said, no, are you serious? That's an AI? Good Lord, we're screwed. That is really, really scary. Come on, agencies, don't do that. Please stop. Please stop taking away our human connection. Someone said, well, Norwood's creators want her to be the next Scarlett Johansson, to which Emily Blunt said, but we have Scarlett Johansson. Right, but the issue is that we have to pay Scarlett Johansson. She's got all these, bitch fucking demands, being paid for her work. We don't want that shit. We're just going to get an AI. Tilly Norwood works for free, bitch. If she doesn't, we'll murder her. We'll fucking stop her code. We'll shut her shit down. She works for free. She's an AI actor's slave. SAG-AFTRA is the union that represents tens of thousands of actors and other performers. They released a statement. They said the union is supposed to be the replacement of human performers by synthetics. To be clear, Tilly Norwood is not an actor. It's a character generated by a computer program that was trained on the work of countless professional performers without permission or compensation. It has no life experience to draw from, no emotion, and from what we've seen, audiences aren't interested in watching computer-generated content untethered from the human experience. Yeah, we'll see. We got a lot of dumb people in this country. I don't think half of them will give a shit. Half of them are supporting a UFC fight on the White House lawn. I think they're okay with their fucking action stars being AI. I mean, action movies and Marvel movies, they're basically all CGI and computer generated as it is. So, yeah, these people aren't going to care. Whoopi Goldberg said the problem with this, in my humble opinion, is that suddenly you are up against something that has been generated with 5,000 other actors. It's been giving all of these, it's got Betty Davis's attitude, it's got my humor, so it's a little bit of an unfair advantage. All right, Whoopi, calm down. Do you think that they're going to your fucking, we need the humor of Whoopi Goldberg on this thing? No, they're not. They're going Kevin Hart. Okay, they're going Kevin Hart. They're going, fucking, who's a big, Nikki Glaser. Get Kevin Hart and Nikki Glaser in this. No, nobody's going, we need Whoopi in this thing. Sorry, Whoop. She says, you can always tell them from us. We move differently. Our faces move differently. Our bodies move differently. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, it'll be seamless, but it's not seamless yet. Don't give them any ideas, Whoopi. Van der Velden released a statement claiming Norwood is not a replacement for a human being, but a creative work, a piece of art. Like many forms of art before, she sparks conversation, and in itself shows the power of creativity. All right, Ellen van der Velden, shut the fuck up. Diddy is getting sentenced Friday. I don't know if you knew that. Diddy is getting sentenced Friday. What's going on with that? I thought he'd be out by now. I forgot about Diddy, to be honest. The Diddler. Federal prosecutors are full steam ahead, ready to lock up Diddy. They are asking a judge to sentence him to more than 11 years in prison following his conviction on prostitution-related charges. 11 years for prostitution. You can't even get a year for rape at this point. I mean, men can rape and then they're like, all right, you got to do community service. You got to go read to kids. You were a rapist. Yeah, you got to go read to kids. In a new court filing obtained by TMZ, prosecutors say they want at least 135 months imprisonment along with a $500,000 fine, $500,000. Judge is, I'm not going to say his name, Aaron Sobramiani, and then I say it. It's a long name. Shut up. It's set to hand down Diddy's sentence on Friday in New York City. The hip-hop mogul is currently facing... Can we just say the rapist? This is insane. The hip-hop mogul. How about the guy who beat a woman in the hallway on camera? How about the woman beater? No? Is that too harsh? Yeah. The woman beater is currently facing a max of 20 years in prison after being found guilty on 2 counts of transporting male prostitutes. I did like that they got him on the gay shit. Yeah. They argue that a lengthy prison sentence is needed because Diddy is unrepentant, claiming he had admitted to violence and abuse during the trial, but now argues his victims should shoulder the blame. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get 11 years. I could see them being like, 1 year with time served. You're out, sir. Go party with DJ Khaled. Go see Trump. He loves you. Go over and see the Riyadh Comedy Festival. It's still going on. Chappelle's the final headliner. You won't miss it, Diddy. Yucks. Well, we'll come back next week and talk about his sentence. I'm thinking, realistically, 2 years. For prostituting male escorts, 2 years maybe with time served. He'll probably be out by Christmas. That's my guess. I'm not hopeful anymore. You get your hopes up, things are bad. You keep your hopes low, things are always good. Huh? Every night I go to bed thinking this is probably the last day I'm living. And then I wake up and it's great. Here I am. The last thing I wanted to talk about is Lola Young. Holy heart. Holy fart. Lola Young, she's you would know her songs. She's a musician. 'Cause I'm too messy and then I'm too fucking clean. You told me get a job and you asked where the hell I've been. That's Lola Young. I like Lola Young's music. I like her a lot. I saw a very kind of disturbing clip. She completely fainted on stage in New York City. She had issues with heat on stage over the summer. She was performing somewhere outside in the summer. It seemed to be like it was a hot environment. It was hot outside. You know, it's summer in the world. Global warming. It's happening, baby. We're in hell. And she, I think, puked or was nauseous and said, oh my God, this heat, I'm getting almost like a heat stroke. She, you know, but that was the summer. And now she's performing last week in New York City. Outside, but you know, it's got to be 80s, maybe low 90s. She was at the All Things Go Music Festival in New York City when she fainted. She completely fainted in the middle of her set. There is a video out there. I don't encourage people to go watch this stuff, but if you're into it, go for it. You know, it's out there. What do you want me to do? Not encourage people to go look at it? Tyreek Hill smashed his fucking leg and he went backwards. The video's out there. If you don't get grossed out by that, go look at it. It's very weird. Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver for the Dolphins. He's a woman beater, and he got injured real bad. And was I sad about that? No. His kids are probably like, fuck. Because he abused his 3-year-old kid. He's kind of a monster. But now he's got to be home all day with his girl and kids. Ooh, they're probably like, Jesus, I hope Dad leaves us alone. Don't take your frustration out on us. Go play Call of Duty, Dad. But there is video of Lola Young fainting. It's it's kind of scary. She knows she's about to faint. She's singing her song Conceited, a great song, love it. And she kind of faces towards the side of the stage where her team would be behind the curtains and is like motioning like, I'm going to faint. I can feel it. I fainted once. One time in a hot shower, I fainted when I was 18 years old. And I was drinking all night, so that probably that probably contributed to it. I was drinking all night. I was in a hot shower at the end of the night. I fainted. Just whoop, whoop. You kind of feel things going out. I think everybody's different with how they faint. If you're used to fainting, maybe she's fainted before. I mean, she had problems with the heat outside during that other festival during the summer, so it seems like she may have issues with that. Maybe she's sensitive to it. It did not seem like she was on drugs or anything, but she definitely knew that she was going down. You know, she kept motioning, like pointing to her head saying, I'm going to faint. I'm fainting. I'm going to faint. And then just lights out. She's standing up fully, falls back like a trust fall with no one there to catch her. Just boom, smacks her right on the ground. Her keyboardist gets up immediately and goes over to her. Her team takes their time. You know, it's a tale as old as time. It really is. It never ends. We're always surprised. Oh my God, she's fainted. What's happened? These people are overworked. Once you hit it big, once you're a Benson Boone, you're a Lola Young, you're a huge pop star, a huge musician, you got to hit the ground running and do all the gigs and take all the money you can for the next year, 2, 3, 4, until you're not hot anymore. Lizzo was doing it. Now she's fallen off and is just kind of Lizzo, you know, but When you're hot, when you're hit, you just gotta go, 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 go. What's sleep? Who gives a fuck? Here, pop an Adderall. Go, 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 go. Have champagne. Good job. Your single went #1. Go, 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 go. You're doing this festival, that festival, this festival, this festival. Go, go, go. It never ends. It can really take a toll on someone. A younger person who maybe is not set up with, a structured routine. When I was young, I had no routine. There was no such thing as a routine. I was not a healthy person. I was drinking. I was partying. I was getting not very much sleep. That's what young people do in their 20s. I think Lola Young's in her 20s. She probably doesn't have a structured routine, and she's on the road constantly doing these shows, doing spots on late night, doing features on other songs in the recording studio, on TikTok. She's always on TikTok making videos. I mean, it's exhausting. And if you're not set up for success, and if you don't have a healthy lifestyle or a habit, kind of a healthy thing that you can fall back into, it can be a lot. And it didn't seem to me that she was on drugs or alcohol. She was singing her fucking face off. She sounded phenomenal. Up until her fainting, she sounded phenomenal. But she has abruptly canceled all of her shows. Now, her manager, Nick Shymansky, this is worth noting. Nick Shymansky is her manager. Nick Shymansky used to be Amy Winehouse's manager. A lot of people would say, oh, that's gross. No, Nick Shymansky was Amy Winehouse's former manager. She fired him when he said that she should go to rehab. And what'd she do? She turned around and made that song. So he was her first manager that she fired because he wanted her to get help. So he's not a bad guy. People automatically assume, oh, the manager of Amy Winehouse is now managing Lola Young. No wonder she's running herself into the ground. No, this is just the industry. They don't give a fuck about you. You are a money-making machine, right? You think you have friends around. You think your agent and your manager, they're all your friends. No, they're there to make money off of your work, your labor. You get the fame, you get the fun, you get whatever you want, and in turn, we make money off of you. That's it. But she has abruptly canceled all of her shows, and I really applaud that because, it's scary because she's really at her height right now. She's got so many great songs. She's doing so many good gigs. It's scary to step back and go like, I'm ready to give up all of this to focus on my health, because she needs to focus on her health. If she's fainting mid-show at a show in September outside, that's not a good sign. Maybe she's prone to fainting. Maybe she has some underlying medical conditions. I don't know. I don't really care. I hope she gets better. But it is scary to step away from the height of your career. I don't know if I would be mature enough to do that. I think I applaud her. If I was in my 20s and I was at the height of my career, I don't know. I think I'd have to be told you can't do this anymore, because I would be so scared of losing all that momentum, of all the hard work I've put in that can just go away, because people forget overnight, I think she'll come back stronger than ever. She really will. She's a great musician. But she put out a statement, unfortunately, due to a sensitive matter, I have advised Lola Young to pull out of performing. Oh, this is her manager. Okay, so this is the manager again that tried to get Amy Winehouse in rehab early on, that got fired for it. This is his statement. Unfortunately, due to a sensitive matter, I have advised Lola Young to pull out of performing at Audacy We Can Survive, a festival. Lola is very open about her mental health, and there are very occasionally days where this guy can't fucking write. No wonder he was fired as manager. What the fuck is he saying? And there are very occasionally days where myself and my team have to take protective measures to keep her safe. Yeesh. She is an incredible person and always takes her fans' career and performances seriously. I can only send huge apologies for the inconvenience caused. So it sounds like her mental health's not great. They've had to step in, make sure she doesn't do anything dangerous to herself. She put out her own statement. Sorry, I missed that. Here's her statement. I'm going away for a while. It pains me to say I have to cancel everything for the foreseeable future. That's so scary to cancel everything, because I'd be so scared it would never come back. But you got to take care of yourself. I applaud her for this. Thank you for all the love and support. I'm so sorry to let anyone who has bought a ticket to see me. It hurts me more than you know. I really hope you'll give me a second chance once I've had some time to work on myself and come back stronger. How funny would it be at the end of this if she was like, please catch me live. I'll be performing at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, October 8th. Leave your women at home. All right, that's the show. Thanks so much for listening. I love you all. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast if you've enjoyed it. Check out the Riyadh Comedy Festival if you're in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a hoot. Gonna be a hoot. If you're a woman, hide your clit. If you're a journalist, don't write about it. What else? Join the Patreon. Patreon.com/HeatherShawComedy. Every single week you get a bonus episode of this podcast where I get more personal. I talk about things I may not talk about on the main podcast, my real thoughts on things. I actually did not talk about the Riyadh Comedy Festival on Patreon, and these are my real thoughts, so you got them here. But patreon.com/HeatherShawComedy, and then check me out. I'm on the road all the time, about to go back out on the road for the rest of the year. I'm very excited. Let me tell you about my upcoming shows here. We've got Eugene, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, and Tacoma, Washington this weekend. Come out to those shows. Boca Raton, Des Moines, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Kansas City, Cleveland, Ohio, Columbus, Massillon, Fort Wayne, Chicago, Dallas, Omaha, Richmond, Virginia, Mahomet, Illinois, Portland, Maine, Providence, Rhode Island. There's more. San Francisco, California, Detroit, Michigan, Appleton, Wisconsin, and Atlanta, Georgia. All tickets are at heathershawcomedy.com. Come out to a show. You won't regret it. It's a very fun, unhinged time. Until next time, stay gay. All right, see ya.